Welcome. Thanks for being here. Let's begin. We'll go for 1 hour. So we'll start by connecting to our Ujjayi breath. And we'll align the skull bones over sit bones. Feel the shoulders relax. Feel the arm bones and the hands hang or rest heavily. And just as a reminder, this particular spiritual practice or lineage or style is, in my opinion, first and foremost, an embodiment practice, which means that we get to explore, we get to experience, right, the physicality of being alive, the emotionality of being a human in a body, we get to celebrate all of those textures, the very fine qualities of mind, those liquid qualities of emotionality, energy, life force, and how it navigates through this physical body. So in a lot of ways, we're we're like a step-down transformer. But we're also like a step-up transformer in that we can bring our mindfulness, our conscious feeling awareness to bear in our physicality. And it transmutes, it brightens, it lightens, that we may feel the undergirding energy therein. Exquisite, exquisite human bodies. Our pranayama for this evening, we're going to work some breath holds, and then we'll have a part 2 in just a moment. So first, We'll inhale about 8 or 10 counts on the lengthier side. We'll hold about 5 counts. We'll exhale about 10. So let's do the rough math just in case you want to replicate this for yourself later. About an 8 or 10 in, a 5 hold, a 10 out. So that's roughly a 1 to 2 ratio. I like to start by exhaling everything out. And then as I relax belly, beginning my inhale, feel for spreading, just allowing that breath to move into the back wall of the ribs and the side, around the solar plexus. Letting that breath kind of move up into the mid-ribs, moving up into the upper ribs and the brain. I will hold, just a brief hold, a 5 hold, and 10 out. If it doesn't last 10, that's all right. But now we're really empty. So when we begin our inhale, we let the belly go, we soften. Feel for spreading that breath or allowing it to move and spread into the back of the solar plexus and up the ribs and around the lungs. Hold, just a brief hold. 10 out. Let's do 2 more rounds just like that, on our own. We're working part 2, working that alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to select my left hand for this evening. You could choose any hand. I like to just alternate from time to time. I'm using my left hand thumb to gently close left nostril. Now, taking about the same count, same ratio, about 8, 5, 10. Okay? And I think we're pretty familiar with the pattern, but I'll talk through the first one. So inhaling through the right nostril. Then I close both nostrils very gently, because right behind my fingers, if I kind of go back behind the eyes, bridge of the nose, altitude, that's my pituitary gland, right back there. And then 10 count out through the left nostril. Left side stays open. Inhale through the left. Hold. Brief hold. And just feel where your finger pads are and just go a little bit behind there, just because it's an interesting place to to feel inside the body. And then 10 out the right. Let's do one more round, just like that, alternate nostril breathing, or 2 more breaths with that ratio. Let's do those on our own. And when you finish that round, you can just relax your hand, resume your Ujjayi breath. Change the cross of legs. So crossing right over left as we prepare for a seated spinal twist. Wow. Once you've crossed right over left, can you feel both sit bones on the ground? Inhaling, feeling your breath descend, almost moving those bones into the earth, lifting skull towards sky. And then exhaling, let's turn to our right, or twist to our right. That right hand can either grab a foot or you can plant it on the ground for more vertical support. I'm kind of inspired today as I'm watching it here in the States. Right, we have this ceremony, inauguration. It's a transfer of power. When we look at the sacred text and lots of different traditions, the subtle body, right, the energetic component of our experience is often named as the transformational body. Biblically, spirit always moves through this, or God speaks through spirit. There's always a conduit, a bodily conduit. Okay? It's like the in-between. So all of these transfers and these transmutations and these movements of energy are conveyance from this physical body to consciousness. So to know these energetics, to know this subtle body is really just like having all of the rungs on the ladder available to us. That we can climb up, that we can step down. And it's okay if we don't feel what energetics are. For some of us, it's really visceral. It's almost like you can touch it. It's palpable. And for some of us, it's kind of like maybe it's there. It's maybe feels specious. Okay. Let's unwind, inhaling, come back to center. But if we follow with our breath, if we keep coming back to our breath, whether you can feel the subtle body or not, whether you can feel energy shifting or not, the breath will be a great indicator for us, right? It'll indicate, oh, I'm holding emotion, right? Well, I'm holding energy. Oh, I'm moving emotion. Like we know if we're sobbing, we know we're moving energy, right? Okay, so there's ways to pick up on that. Inhaling, expand the ribs all around the solar plexus. And then exhale, we'll turn to our left. So we're twisting. Got our left on top of our right. And so I point this out just so that we have a map, a lay of the land. If you're accustomed to focusing in the physical body and working with the tissues and the bones, at least we know that there's this subtle body. And as we grow accustomed to working with the breath and maybe even feeling energy and feeling this life force moving through our body, it just gives us a different vantage point. Gives us more textures to work with. And let's release. Inhaling, we'll unwind. From the twist, we'll unwind our legs. And let's lie on back for elbow to knee. So, I'll talk us through elbow to knee today with traction. Traction, I'll be using hand pressure on each thigh, just as a way to nudge the bones. Okay? Oh, I can move my skeleton, and I can feel those little movements in my tissues in my physical body. It'll help me, almost like an electrician, just start to wire more feeling, awareness in and through the body. So we'll start with the hands behind the head. Inhale. We'll float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. With a little abdominal pressure, just keep the back on the ground. Exhale the right leg straight up. Place the right palm on the right thigh and press. Now keep the back on the ground. Press just as a way of feeling the back bones, the hip socket. Pull low belly down. And then inhale, bend that right knee. We'll start all over again. For the other side, curl tailbone. Exhale, left leg reaches. Left hand, place pressure. Push, nudge. And just, if you feel the legs, the bones, the weight, the mass moving, great. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. And back will remain on ground, curled tailbone. Exhale, right leg reaches straight up. Right hand pressures thigh. Press. And when you nudge, can you feel? Pull low belly down. It's kind of the great thing about asana, all this movement work. Inhale, bend the right knee, is often we can feel things when they're moving. So I curl tailbone, exhale the left leg up. I use the left hand, press to move the left leg. And when I move the left leg, maybe I can feel that left hip. Pull low belly down. Let's do just a couple more. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg reaches, right hand press. Press to move, move to feel. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend that right knee. Curl tailbone. Exhale, left leg reaches, left hand presses. I'm sure we've all had the experience. Maybe we didn't know we were having an emotion like sadness until it started to move, like we started to cry, right? Pull low belly down. Let's do one more on each side on our own. And when you are through, we'll just set the head down. We'll place the feet down. So this evening's practice, I'm just going to give us a lot of just cues and clues to help us feel what might be moving. Sometimes what we're feeling moving is just our body, our muscles, our blood, our joints, our tissues. Okay, let's grab that roll, place it between the legs. You hold it with the inner legs. Sometimes what we can feel moving or work with directly is energy. We can feel a quality of lightness or heaviness, prickliness or fuzziness. Sometimes these things get moving in our body. Inhale into the low back. Hold the breath for a moment. Squeeze the roll. Curling tailbone. Exhale. Float the head, the shoulder blades off the ground. Pull low belly down. Inhaling, set the head down. Relax tailbone down. Pause. Squeeze the roll. Curl tailbone, exhale, head, shoulder blades off ground. Keep the squeeze, reach up through those inner legs, and we draw the low belly down. Inhale, let's set the head down, keeping the legs up. Now hold, this is where we enact squeeze, and as you're squeezing, feel if you're squeezing in a way that stops or creates movement inside your legs, your hips, your pelvis. Curl tailbone. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up, making sure we're exhaling. Breathing is part of that movement. Pull low belly down. Now inhale, set head down, relaxing the squeeze. I'm going to talk through one more. So we hold our breath just for a moment, squeeze the roll, the prop, get a good squeeze, curl tailbone, now exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up. Okay, so I'm not just squeezing and blanking out, I'm actually squeezing and entering in, feeling where there's movement. Feel, pull low belly down. All right, when we inhale the head down, let's take the last 3 of these on our own. We're moving to feel. Here we go. Feeling the breath move into the pelvis. All right, as we feel, right, as we're feeling, attending, watching, sensing, my sense is that it starts to affect the what I'd call the valence, the charge that we may experience. Charge can, I'm using that word like an intensity, an attraction, an aversion, an intensity. All right, after you're through with those, we'll set the feet down, we'll set the roll down. And then let's turn over and set up on our hands and knees. We're setting up Turbo Dog. So to set that up, from hands and knees, I just walk my hands forward a few inches. Okay. And then almost like I'm twisting the ground without twisting my hands out. I'm kind of turning, bend elbows. So while my elbows are bent, my forearms, as I look down at them, they're parallel with one another. Inhale into the back of the heart, the sides of the heart. Without moving the elbows, like 1, 2, 3 inches from the ground. Curl the toes under, exhale the knees off the ground. This is Turbo Dog. Now, if you're not sure what I mean by valence or charge or intensity, keep bending the elbows. Keep reaching the elbows toward the earth without them touching the ground. And in no time, you'll likely feel that valence, that charge, either that internal fireworks display. Now again, keeping the elbows precisely where they are. Inhaling, smoothly raise the left foot off the ground. Good. Now exhaling, reach out through that left leg, reaching those elbows toward the earth. So you're getting that wrap, you're getting those chest muscles lit. Wow, inhale, bring the left foot down to the ground. Remain in Turbo Dog. So one of the cool things here in this kind of way of doing poses, we'll raise the right leg up, is if I let myself feel and notice and breathe with that charge, with that valence, that's often sufficient to feel how energy starts to move in the body. So one, would I be willing to feel that zip, that zing, those internal fireworks? Would I be willing to breathe with them? Inhaling, set the right foot down, set the knees down. We'll take a rest. So now we can slide the hands underneath the shoulders. And on your next exhalation, let's press back, downward dog. So now downward dog feels like an oasis pose. Our access in and through this valence, through these little bits of charge, is just one way to just build that ladder rung through the energetic body, through the subtle body. Inhaling, let's step the right foot forward, warrior two. Reach those arms out to the side. Now connect to a deeper breath. Deeper doesn't have to mean more forceful, but we're foregrounding the breath. That will also help us feel, notice, building that energetic ladder rung. Okay? And it doesn't matter if we ever feel it or not, but having those ladder rungs is like having a pathway where some maybe big spiritual insight can step down and step in and step through this body into action, right? Having that ladder rung, that full, deep breath also helps me maintain hope. I can have a really stuck or heavy experience. And by breathing in and with it, and breathing it, and breathing it, and breathing with it, feeling, liberating, freeing that up to the energetic substrate is really freeing to the body. We work a neck shoulder release move. So instead of reverse warrior, I'm going to set my left hand down on my left thigh and just lower my right hand over my right thigh. That's it. Now I tip my head just away from the right hand, so the right side of my neck is exposed. And now inhaling underneath the right scalenes, right side jaw. And exhaling, spread the hand bones, reach out through those fingertips. Okay. And again, I say this just so you can start to mark and just note your experience in your body. Note when you bring breath in and through some region, maybe like your neck or your jaw. And as you feel and listen and breathe and feel and listen and breathe, does it start to feel lighter or different or renewed, or something start to move or open in there? Now, I'm going to lower the right hand, use the left hand, help the head up centrally. I'm going to stay in the pose, because I love you. Inhale, reach those arms out to the side for eagle. Exhale, hook the right elbow over the left. Right over left. Now, 2 poses in. If it's been a minute since we've been in a warrior 2, we might already be feeling the charge, the valence. In which case, practice opportunity. Would I be willing to listen, to feel, to notice that charge? Can I breathe as I feel? And what do I start to notice? This is the importance of space. If that stuff starts to move and get roiling and opening up, give it space. Inhale, let's unwind the hands, set them down beside your right foot. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Let's lower all the way down. Cobra. Inhaling, Elevate the chest. Use your palms. Pull the chest forward. Learn if you can get that upper back articulating. Exhaling, lower down, downward dog. We reset the hands under chest and press back. Now, anytime you love, you can take your downward dog into a turbo dog. It is entirely optional. What's nice about it, I know it can be more challenging, but often we start to get blood and efforts moving through our physical body, our muscles, our bones, our tissues. It's almost like a flare on the road. It's a little signal. I can bring my breath and attention and my awareness right in there. Right where all those little flares are in my arms and my hands and my shoulders. Inhaling, let's step the left foot forward, warrior two. We're reaching these arms out to side. So this first little piece is for the left side of the neck and the shoulder. So I inhale the right hand to the right thigh, and I lower the left hand so it's hovering over my left thigh. And I just tip my right ear toward my right thigh. Inhaling, pull my trunk up a little bit and use the right hand to assist the head up. Okay, moving into eagle. Let's inhale the arms out to the side, spread the hand bones. And this time, exhaling, we'll hook the left elbow over the right, left over right, linking hands if available. And then foreground the breath, deepen the breath. Let the breath come up prominently in this feeling experience. Let the breath be just as prominent as any sensation that you might be feeling. And inhaling, let's unwind. We'll set the hands down on either side of left foot, exhaling chaturanga. So I step left foot back, lowering down. Cobra. Inhale, belly into the earth, so feel that breath under my low back. Using the hands to pull, giving my low back a little more space, traction. Exhaling, lower down, downward dog. Sliding hands under chest and pressing back. So we're working in a twisting lunge. Inhale, step your right foot forward, place the left knee down on the ground. We can draw our left arm up. And now exhaling, just start by turning the left hand. So you're turning the shoulder. So we hook that left elbow over the right thigh. Now, here in just a moment, I'll be talking us into twisting lunge interlock. Just prefacing that with, if this is as deep as your organs or your ribs or your shoulder can go, please know you can always station right here and just take a few more breaths right here in this twisting lunge. Now, as I exhale, sliding that left armpit even closer to the thigh. Now reaching the right hand behind back. We connect hands. You might try this out, Tara. You might just feel for, as you're breathing, you can imagine or feel there's this kind of connective tissue sheath in all of the torso, the abdomen, the torso, diaphragm, the pelvis. Just feel if that abdominal sheath, that encapsulation slides. If your organs have a sliding relationship therein. There you go. Okay, inhaling, unwind. I'm going to set the hands down. Exhaling, chaturanga. Step right foot back. Now, if you'd like to inhale, upward dog, choose so. If your low back feels a little tender, stick with cobra. But feel if you can get that breath in the top of your lungs. It's under the collarbone. Exhaling, downward dog. So I'm going to give you just one more kind of tag for that, Tara, and whomever else is interested in their peritoneal tissues. Inhale, step the left foot forward. We set the right knee down. Okay, when we raise the right arm, I'm encouraging turning the arm bone, feeling that turn in the shoulder. And you may even register that as the organs move. There's twisting of the organs, there's movement and sliding in this abdominal solar plexus area. It's a slight thing, but it's kind of cool. I want to move into twisting lunge. Sometimes it's just a little thing like, oh, I turn my shoulder and I can feel my organs slipping and sliding over each other. Yeah, sometimes those little things happen. And as you're breathing into the solar plexus and the ribs and the guts, can you still feel that slippy slidiness? And just check in. It's a common pattern for a lot of us, but just notice if you're kind of like, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word that's like pressurized, stoppage, hydraulic. Sometimes we do like a hydraulic type of bracing. Feel the organs in the abdomen having a liquid response to the breath. There you go. So we're going to move into interlock. So option 1 is just stay right here, breathing into your guts, feeling how they might slip, slide. Or if your shoulder and your ribs permit, we go twisting lunge interlock. Where there's sensation, bring your feeling, bring your attention, bring your breath. This isn't like a puzzle. How do I make this as convenient as possible? Rather, these poses hopefully highlight and bias areas that encourage us to magnify, to bring even more of our concentrated, caring attention back inside our body. And release. Inhale, let's unwind, setting hands down. Exhaling, chaturanga. We'll step the left foot back, lower, all the way down. Now, once you've lowered, bring the fingertips to the bottom of our butt for this boat variation. So when I bring my fingertips to the bottom of my butt, I may feel my sit bones there, and then contract your butt muscles like you're shifting the tailbone down, and now you can grab those engaged glutes. Inhale, lift your chest up. And keep the feet low to the ground. Exhaling, melt the chest forward. Strong legs reach back, inhaling into the guts, under the heart. Keep pressing those toes, those feet straight back. Exhaling, use those fingertips, pull up on those still engaged buttock muscles. Once more, deep inhale. And exhaling, lower everything down to the ground. Just take a breath or two right here. Inhale, hands under chest. Exhaling, downward dog. All right. So working a little revolved pyramid. Inhale, step your right foot forward. This is where I like a block. I like to put my left hand down on a surface. How I choose the elevation depends on my back. So there might be a couple of us who might feel twingy in the back, in which case I'd prop myself higher. And I might even put my right hand on the small of my back just for added feeling and breath and comfort. Okay? if you don't have any aches or pains or whatnot, just put the left hand down and we draw the right arm up. Now I stay with the breath. I stay with the breath. Foreground the breath. I keep making the breath a prominent feature in my experience. It helps build this really a flexibility of perspective. I can attend to something in here, over there, and then I can remember and feel again my breath. And I can attend, I can focus. I remember my breath. I keep tracing back. And that breath is part of how we can feel and work energetically. It's that bridge into that ladder rung, transformational body. Now, inhaling, I'm going to bring my right hand down, bending my right knee. Arrive at standing, so step your left foot forward. And when you stand, same twist direction. Left hand grab right foot. So my left hand is grabbing the outer edge of the right foot. I'm pressing that ball of right foot forward. Reach the right hand away from your left hand. A little wall support is always fine. Yeah, just use those inner legs, both of them, Matt. Kind of really tweeze on those Good. And then when you're breathing into that gut joy, just learn if there's that slidey quality, or if there's a holding or a bracing quality, or maybe something else altogether. There you go. That's it. Yeah. All right, now inhaling, come back around centrally. I'm going to bend this right knee for standing pigeon. Yes, I'm still standing on my left leg. And gently set that right foot down. When we step back, we'll step back into downward dog. Now, I was recommending before that you might like to visit Turbo Dog. While it may not be first on your preference list, what you're engaging in Turbo Dog has a lot to do with twists, at least on the superficial level. So if I bend my elbows and if I can feel those under the armpit muscles working in the chest and under the front ribs muscles working, those help me out with my twists. So revolve pyramid. Inhale, left foot forward. All right. I like blocks. If I'm having a very back protective practice, I'll prop it way up. I'll prop up like a skyscraper of blocks. Otherwise, I like one. So we go right hand down, Left arm skyward. So the twist, you'll notice this is a twist. I'm really twisting from the mid back through the upper back. I'm letting my low back be quite untwisty. Good, let's deepen breath because we might be getting into that red line zone. Foreground the breath. All right, inhaling, bend the left knee, bring the left hand down. And this is where we step forward, step the right foot forward. And when we stand, twisting the exact same direction, right hand grab left foot. Left hand may reach away from your right hand. Building our connection to breath in every moment is building that ladder rung that helps connect that big, deep, vast, brilliant consciousness to this physical body. So we can be a conductive lightning rod and not just a helps us step down those amazing insights and visions. And now inhaling, bend that left knee, standing pigeon. Get a hold of that left foot, both hands. Standing pigeon work all right, Jen? Looks like it. Yeah, okay. Good. All right. Now inhaling, when we set that left foot down, let's just step back one last time, downward dog. Set the hands down, step back. Connect to deep Ujjayi breath. And gently set knees down. All right. So have a seat. And we're going to prep for Shavasana. So if you need to add in any layer or bring your lights down some amount, please do so. Give yourself any props you need behind your kneecaps, or you can put your legs up on couch or chair. There's a good chance that just having spent some time repositioning our body, breathing, focusing in different ways. Okay. has helped you discover that there's some things moving in this bodily experience. Sometimes we feel that movement as suddenly like a weight is lifted, or there's an absence of something. Or we may feel currents. These movements inform us as to the degree of freedom that we have in our body life. And movement, right? Movement is life. We can feel if something is stagnating. We can feel if something is kind of whooshing right through us. The beautiful thing is when we can start to feel these movements in our body life, that opens the door up for, if we want to empty things out, fill them up. It opens the door to these experiences of fullness and emptiness. So whenever you're ready, I invite you to bend knees, turn to a side, let's use our hands to press to seated. Thank you all for this meeting. Namaste.